Hi everyone, my name is Valerie and I'm happy to welcome you to our webinar. Our session today is all about the question how to master your OpenText migration. For this, we take a closer look at Migration Center's feature set for Content Suite and Documentum. Let me quickly explain you our housekeeping rules. Please note that during the whole session, all attendees are muted. If you have any questions, please enter them into the question panel. After the webinar, we will review all questions and come back to you to answer them individually. Please note that this webinar is being recorded, and we will share the recording with you once we have it processed after this session. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our speakers. Today we have two experts from the Migration Center team for you, and they are Frederick Olsen, Sales Representative at FME, and Mike Uhlenberg, Consultant at FME. And now I hand over the word to our first speaker. Frederick, it's your turn.
Thank you, Valerie, and welcome to the webinar today. Just one slide so you know who you're talking to, FME. We were founded in 1995 and we grow over the years around enterprise content management systems. Today, we have reached 280 employees and we have a global presence with a headquarter in Brunswick, which you see on the picture here. But we are also offices in the US, Romania, and now latest, we open up in India. So we can provide our customers and partners with a 24-hour support and also professional service all around the globe. My Migration Center, a product we brought onto the market like 20 years ago. We were leaving our scripting behind us and brought a product on the market. So with Migration Center, we provide you and partners, customers with the migration software for complex multi-system migrations out of the box. And with this, we can provide a fast, a secure, and for sure, a cost-saving migration. And after 1,900 successful projects over the 19 years, we have been told by our large customer base that they choose Migration Center because of our very good and quick support around the globe. With the Migration Center, we have one tool for more than 250 paths out of the box, which you will see in a slide later on. So no more development or anything, just configuration, which makes it simple. It is a quick to learn with a brand new user interface we brought in about 2 years ago. It has become even easier to use as well. So we are using the latest and modern technology for this. And if you're going to mention at least one feature, not going through them all, we'll see in the live demo in a bit what it can do. One of the most asked features is that the end user can continue to work during the migration. So there will be no business downtime, and we call it Delta migration. And all this result in a, for sure, significant saving in cost and duration of your migration project. With 9 out of 10 largest pharma companies using Migration Center on a daily basis, we have conducted audits and other security checks. So the tool is proven and has been proven for many, many years now. So you can be secure using it. We work industry independent, but with the know-how that regulated environments, we guarantee legal and audit compliance in all industries. And you can see on the left-hand side a lot of companies that we have helped throughout the years, and we hope to add even more. 25 years ago, we started with a Documentum partnership, and this has been developed over the years. And after Documentum was bought by OpenText, we also continue with OpenText, but this has also grown to be a lot of technology that goes into Migration Center. Today, we're going to look into the Content Suite, XACM, Documentum, and Info Archive, and this is the focus that Migration Center has as of today when it's come to OpenText. A little bit about the architecture will be mentioned in a bit, but here you can see that we have a lot of source connectors, and we have also a lot of target connectors out of the box. So you can combine with this and get more than 250 out of the box reusable path. And as you can see on the left-hand side, you see all our source connectors, OpenText Documentum for life science, eDocs, XCC, MD2, XCP. But we also have generic solutions. So if you don't find a connector here, we can use a file share. Sometimes we can use a database, which has become a very powerful scanner. XML, Excel, CSV is also possible. But if you need an custom development, we can do that in a very short time, and we can connect to the API exactly as you need it. And this is also possible on the target side if you maybe have a special archive system in addition to your OpenText environment. But saying this, I would like to give the word to Mike, and he will take us through the architecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Frederick. Hello, everyone from my side. Now it's getting a little bit more technical. So as Frederick mentioned already, we have many passes here from and to in the Migration Center. The Migration Center consists out of 3 components. We have a client, a database, and the content store and the job server. So basically the content store is an underlying file share for temporarily storing the extracted content from the source connectors, and the metadata and all other information from objects are stored in the Migration Center database. Yeah, as Frederick mentioned, API of the current or of the systems of the supported platforms. So we have already a feature set which all the connectors have in common, but all the different connectors can be developed any further with supporting other features depending on your requirements, right? So in general, the Migration Center feature list and functions grew over the past, usually always with customers. So if a customer or you needs a Migration Center and there's a missing feature, we can quite easily add it to the corresponding connector and improve the feature set and the product by itself. So speaking of the database, so this is a central database, the Migration Center's brain, so to speak. It contains, as I said, metadata and information about the scanned or extracted objects, but also all the configuration. So after all, you only need the Migration Center client to connect to the database to do the essential configuration, the metadata mapping or transformation, and the scanning, what we call scanning, and importing. So the extracting from source system and importing into a target system. So all can be done by the client. And the database in the past was always there was always a requirement for Oracle, but we improved the product and added a capability to support also PostgreSQL. So it was active, or it was available last year. So, and now we're supporting Oracle and PostgreSQL. You can Postgres is open source, right? So you can install it on your system, or we ship it with the product. Right. So today we're speaking about OpenText, the OpenText stack. So that's Documentum and content server mainly, also info archive and D2, XCM, DCM. You name it. So what we support in OpenText. But one slide before we go into that about the scalability. So in Migration Center, as I said, the 3 components are visible here, and the scalability is really in our job servers. So that means when we do need a high performance in the migration, and everyone needs a high performance because we can save time and cost, right? We not usually meet the performance of the target system. So the bottleneck is usually the target system. So the import time of documents and objects and or content. So Migration Center, you can scale up the environment with adding job servers. So on this example, you see 3 job servers on the left-hand side for scanning, for connecting to the source system and extracting the content. And on the other side, you see, as an example, the importers or the job servers, including the connectors and the importers to the corresponding target systems. So this is unlimited, also by license. So it does not include, the license includes the scalability. It doesn't matter how many job servers you want to install. But sometimes you also need some components in the target system, for example, application server, if you're going over a web service REST API to the system, or you need to scale up the target system in general, right? Because Migration Center can, I mean, obviously only reach the performance which is more or less offered by the target system. Yeah, and nowadays, already some years ago, we introduced cloud systems as well. So you can also use Documentum or OpenText in the cloud, and the Migration Center can migrate documents from on-premise into the cloud. Right. So yeah, before we jump into a small, quick, brief demo where I want to show you the web client, I want to show you or tell you more about our process. So what we call the migration process, it's basically in the Migration Center tool. So you really go from 1 to 6 until you have, scanned and imported document in the target system. In the middle, you do a transformation of metadata and an attribute mapping. You can imagine coming from various source system, file system, database, as Frederick mentions, or other systems into OpenText. You need to transform or, create an object type which is with categories and with metadata for OpenText. So we do the transformation very flexible, which, with other words, we can always create the desired object type, model, and attribute values. So the process is basically what I said. We scan, extract the content into Migration Center. Then you can do analyze the information. You can see all the metadata. You can see duplicates and other information, which is very useful for the project planning inside a migration project. Then you can classify or organize the documents into mixed. What we call migration set is just a group of documents which have something in common. That can be any attribute. And in the real world, let's say examples are marketing, for example, by department, sales, or you can also use any technical information like extension or created date or whatever. You can really group the documents into one set to process them at one at a time or step by step and set by set. So once you have a migration center set, you do the transformation, what I already told you. So you set transformation rules on that mix set. And then you go 3, 4, and 5 is basically you can, so to speak, play around with the metadata until you see what you get, until you see the metadata which would result from the transformation. And once it's validated and you're satisfied, you can click the next button to import the documents by sets, so set by set, into the target system. And yeah, even after the import, so the Migration Center really keeps track on an individual document level, so in a transactional way. So that means if a document fails to import for some reason, for example, there are metadata which is mandatory metadata not set, or other technical reasons like the internet is down or the network is down or the system is down, the Migration Center will check that and write those roll those objects back and write the information into the Migration Center database. So you have all the error information in Migration Center and can then do the error handling. All the objects which have been successfully imported into the target system will stay there. So it's not that the import process is stopping upon an error. It's more like we try to import all the documents in a transactional way, and if something fails, we just mark it as an error, and then we maybe have the other 80%, for example, objects imported, and then you only do the error handling afterwards. Okay, so that's for the process. So now I want to show you the Migration Center. As we have only 30 minutes, I will not do a full demo. But if you're interested in a full, for example, one-to-one demo, feel free to reach out to us. So I will happily show you the Migration Center in action for a specific path or configuration. Regarding your requirements, we can have a demo, 1 hour demo, for example, and I can show you all the features and a real life example in Migration Center. Yeah, today I just want to show you the client. So this is a web client we are seeing right now. It is quite new, so it's over a year on the market, I would say, but it's quite longer in development. But now it's officially released for a longer time. And it replaces basically the old client, but the old client is still usable. Okay, what you see here is this toolbar here, and then we have overviews of running jobs. We don't have any running jobs right now, so you don't see it. any here, but any import scans or transformation jobs would be visible here, and with a percentage progress bar. Right, speaking of the different features of the corresponding OpenText platforms, Documentum and OpenText Content Server, I open the scanner pane here, and now I just want to open a Documentum, OpenText Documentum scanner, just to give you a brief sense of what you do in Migration Center Client for configuration. And here, this is a Documentum scanner where we put credentials, the repository name, maybe a folder path if we want. We can also start at root, and then we have some features which I touched on about, like these renditions, versions, and virtual documents, and so on. So you can easily tick the settings you want to do or process in that one particular scan or scanner configuration. After a scan, you see the documents already here. You can see the metadata and then also go and analyze. Right, let's have a look to an OpenText scanner really fast. It's always similar in Migration Center, so no matter which platform you are dealing with, the configuration pane looks quite similar. Of course, the parameter will differ from system to system. And here you see the corresponding attributes or features of the corresponding OpenText. So it's component documents, classifications, shortcuts, URLs, rendition, and so on and so on. Right, that's the process one. Then, so from the previous slide, then we would go to the migration sets. Then you select the migration set, which is basically grouped first by a path. So it's, for example, file share to OpenText Documentum or file share to the OpenText Content Suite. And in there, you just put the scan you previously done with, if you want, with some filters and criteria to only group documents you want in that mixset. And that mixset will have a specified transformation rule set. Right, but we won't do that now. So let's see the importers. It's quite similar to the scanners. So once a migration set where the real work is done, the transformation and everything is set, the attribute mapping is done, you can select that migration set and edit or assign it to an importer. And then an importer would look like this. For example, you have a target repository, right, and an import location, and you also can do some configuration and check if you want to import relations, comments, outer trails, and so on and so on. So this is on both sides. So as I said, no matter which system you're dealing with, you always have quite a unified view in Migration Center and can handle all the different systems. Yeah, that's about it. It was a very brief demo, so I hand over again to Fredrik.
The last part of this demo is to understand the license model. We have kept it very simple and straightforward. So what you can do is that you can either choose a perpetual license if you're going to use a license for more than 2 years, which is a lot of companies doing on a daily basis. But you can also ask for a project license, which is then limited to 12 months. You can always prolong a project license as many times as you want, of course. But what you need is one time you need the Migration Center core, which is where the databases and the user and all the job servers. And the good thing is you have unlimited numbers of users, you have unlimited numbers of job servers, which means you can scale up as much as you want and you don't have to pay any additional cost for that. Migration Center core you only need once, and then you can add a path or more paths if you need. So you have to choose a path to OpenText, and the paths have different pricing, so you have to ask for a quote for that, and then you're ready to go. So you can migrate as much volume as you want, data, documents, number of documents is always unlimited. So it's very easy, so you don't have to, there's no hidden cost, so to say. So it's very straightforward. So if you have interest, please reach out to us. We can give you a quote on the path that you need. Of course, in addition to the tool and the software we have, we can also do migration services for you. So that means we can analyze, we can do a proof of concept if you like, so you are sure that it's going to work before you start and before you buy something. We also do full service if you don't want to deal with the migration at all. We can do partly, we can do it together with you. It's up. So we can provide you with the support that you need. at any time. Thank you very much from my side. I will give the word to Valerie.
Well, thank you both for guiding us through the presentation. At this point, I would like to inform you about our product website. On migration-center.com, you can find all features of Migration Center, as well as some success stories of customers and other helpful resources like our blog or datasheets. But most importantly, if you would like to test Migration Center in your own system landscape, then you can request your 14 days valid, fully functional free evaluation copy there. As you can see, you can also find Migration Center on LinkedIn, on X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube. So if you are using those platforms and would like to stay informed about our product, just hit the follow button and join our community. And last but not least, we'd like to invite you to the webinar series we are currently offering. In 2 weeks, you can learn more about streamlining migrations to SharePoint and OneDrive by using Migration Center. Mid of April, we'll share insights into migrations to Highland OnBase and Alfresco. And on April 25, you can join our upcoming webinar on box migrations. And actually, with that being said, we arrived at the end of today's presentation and also at the end of our webinar. So once again, we'd like to thank you all for attending and watching, and we hope to see you again soon.